Welcome, beloveds. Welcome to class 2 of the series The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. So happy to share this work. In the last session, I shared with you all about agreements, as in what are agreements, how through the process of socialization we have come to learn and believe, and the way we have internalized all of those standards, rules and ideals. We learned about the belief system that we have about self, others and the world, and how through the cycle or through the process of reinforcement and punishment, meaning reward and punishment, we have internalized all of these things and we have made agreement to it. Now, understanding of beliefs need another whole set of classes, but here agreements, I repeat, I am referring to the acceptance, the yeses and the agreements we have made to all of those beliefs that we have learned as a child, which we have not considered to question or challenge. And through this work you will also learn to make new agreements, especially the 4 agreements as the name of the book is, which is so important. It sounds very familiar, but it is very difficult to follow. Don't worry, I'll make it easy for you through the exercises and of course through the psychological understanding of it. Now, in this session, I invite you to muster up all the courage, all the energy to challenge those beliefs that are not helping you, as in to be aware of the agreements that you have made in your life and then to challenge it. Okay? So that you can just discard the ones that are not helping you. It's that simple. Okay? Now, to change this agreements, you really have to look inside everything. As in, we have learned certain rules because as a child we had no opportunity to question any of the beliefs and ideas that we have learned. We form rules based on that. Suppose 2 or 3 examples of it. People must accept me and love me. I must achieve so and so to be accepted by others, or I must achieve or earn so and so to be successful. If I don't do it, then I am not good enough, then I am not a good person, or I don't deserve it. If I am not loved and accepted by my significant ones, then I am not worthy of love, or I am not worthy as a person. So based on whatever beliefs that you have come to adopt and internalize as a child, there are certain rules that are there in the background, which now in your adult life is still ruling you, or your life, I mean. Let's take up this example as the author has shared. How many times do we pay for one mistake? This is very important to consider. How many times do we pay for one mistake? Let's just focus on self right now. Suppose you did something, made let's say a terrible mistake in the past. Are you still punishing yourself? You may say yes or you may say no, but even in your no, if it is no, like okay, you are not punishing yourself, then check that you have adopted healthy coping styles and not the unhealthy ones, which look so good or presentable at the surface level or to the society, but at a deeper level it's still a cause of suffering. So how many times do we pay for one mistake? The same question applies in our treatment to other people. How many times do we remember, do we recite and affirm the mistakes of other people. Even if you are around children, or if you are a parent, suppose they made one mistake, okay, let's say that had a major consequence, but they made a mistake. Each time you see that child, or each time you have interaction with that child, are you more of a person who is like so activated and triggered within, that first you will show all the mistakes, पूरी कुंडली जन्म कुंडली दिखा देंगे लोगों को उनके mistakes की, not just to a child but to any person. Like how many times you tend to affirm, recite, repeat the mistakes of other people. What happens is that these roots get stronger and stronger into our memory. At a metaphysical level, if you see, then it's just not limited to one life. That thing could go on to have been, or will continue to be in other incarnations as well. Who knows? So this is the point, meaning how powerfully it gets stored into your memory whenever you are thinking, affirming or reciting your own mistakes or the mistakes of other people. When animal makes a mistake, because I am a mother of a dog, suppose he does something which could be harmful to him, and I use the principle of reward and punishment, of course not the severe one, but that's how he has learned what to do and what not to do, okay. And the animal learns it and then gets okay with it, but we human, because of our this tool of rationalization and our egoic minds or egocentric nature, we tend to remember a lot of things which we should not and forget the important things. So all of these things creates a powerful memory about the mistakes. It creates a powerful memory which is again harmful, because it's again in alignment with the agreements that you have made and adopted or internalized as a child. And this cycle of judge, guilt and punishment then continues. Something happens within you or with another person, you judge. Then there is a guilt or any other negative, terrible emotion, but guilt means punishment. Guilt always results into a punishment. Either you punish yourself or you punish other people. Now, and are you doing, is that like, it's like a justice? No, now you have to choose if you want to become a living example of heaven or a living example of hell. You know, the author has shared this thing that we have learned through socialization. Where is it? Yeah, or through this is here. Religions say that hell is a place of punishment, a place of fear, pain and suffering, a place where the fire burns you. This is what we have learned about hell, right? Fire, now come to this human perspective on this planet Earth, how you are creating hell. Fire is generated by emotions that come from fear. See, when you are really angry, fearful, scared, restless, see what you feel inside you. Fire is generated by emotions that come from fear. Whenever we feel the emotions of anger, jealousy, envy, hate, we experience a fire burning within us. We are living in a dream of hell, right? So now you can make a choice if you want to be a living example of heaven or a living example of hell. How can you consider that? By understanding or by becoming aware of the experience of your own emotions about yourself, about other people and the world. And this will also take you on, if you do the deeper work you have to do in this class. With these emotions you will also understand the agreements you have agreed upon. Okay. false beliefs blinds us, right? Our own beliefs sets us up for suffering until you correct them, until you make new agreements. So in this series you will learn about the 4 agreements, but I want to teach you how to make those new agreements. Let us start with a very simple example. Yeah, you should be very clear about the agreements I am talking about, meaning any ideas or beliefs that you have learned so far in your life, but still you are continuing to repeat it consciously or unconsciously, whatever. You are still continuing to repeat it. Now you have to become aware of it so that you can address it and you can change it. So those are the beliefs, the ideas that you are continuing to practice it, you are still continuing to live it, or it is still ruling your life, meaning those same patterns are the agreements that you have agreed upon. Clear? Let's take up this one. Be yourself. Okay, you have learned this. What does that mean? What is means to be yourself? You can define it afterwards. And see, suppose I have taken this example. In your quest to be accepted by other people and by the society in general, suppose you have just you are just more pretender, as in you try to impress people, you try to do everything to get attention, security and approval of people, and so you do everything pleasing and pleasurable on the outside, on the surface level, and then you feel that now because everyone is happy with me and whatever I did they are acknowledging it and all, you are thinking that you are being yourself. So this is on the worst side, the one side wherein you are trying to do something just for the sake of approval of other people, and because you fear rejection, you don't want rejection, and then you believe that okay, anyways others are happy with me, so in a way I am being myself. That is one side. On the next side, you are just being so much of yourself that you are self-obsessed, self-centered, so egoistic, so manic, that you are just not even in touch of yourself. You have just become so dissociated with yourself and with your surrounding. That's on the other side. None of this is healthy. This doesn't mean that you are being yourself. Now let's come to the balanced perspective. You are taking care of yourself, plus you are taking care of other people, not for the sake of approval or to keep them in your life or to please them, or not from a point of not being rejected, but you are actually being yourself. So you express your own individuality in a healthy manner, as well as taking care of whatever is needed to take care of. So this is like, in short, you are just trying to bring a balanced perspective in being yourself. Clear? Now I want you to do one homework, or let's just consider this thing. Speak your anger without attacking the person. I have written this to share. Have you ever expressed your anger in a healthy manner without justifying your anger, meaning not explaining to yourself and other people, of course I am supposed to be angry, you know what, all this thing happened, and so means, and therefore I did this, therefore I shared this thing. This is called rationalization of anger and also justification. You are just justifying your anger and yourself and counting on to the mistakes or whatever it is like. So can you express your anger in a healthy manner? Meaning, can you express your anger without attacking yourself, without attacking another person? Because if it is either way, then it is deep down a fear. Okay, it is a fear. outside it looks whatever, but deep down it is fear. So just think in this throughout this week, see that whenever you wanted to express any of your emotions, especially the difficult ones, see if you have done that. Let's take anger. See if you have expressed your anger or your hurt, your disappointment, or even your fear in a healthy manner, in a healthy perspective, without attacking the other person or you yourself from the place of victim. You will not do that. You will express your emotions from a place of bravery or courage, but not from a place of victimhood, okay, or without attacking the other person. See, you can do that, and this is how you will understand what all agreement you have actually made on. I would like to read this thing because from the next class we will start from our first agreement. So this is to understand, just to summarize, the most important agreements are the ones you have made with yourself, because in these agreements you tell yourself who you are, what you feel, what you believe, and how to behave. Again, going back to the anger example, if you are if you are expressing your anger in an unhealthy manner, or it's a silent anger, you are just keeping it all, just bottling up everything and being so nice and smiley and cute on the surface, but suffering on the inside. So that is again the agreement you have made on, which is a false one, which needs correction. And this all are reflecting to the agreements first you have made with yourself. This shows who you are when you are angry, how you feel your anger, what do you believe about anger, and how you behave when you are angry. Do this homework and you will understand the agreements you have made about being angry and how you can change that. One single agreement is not such a problem, but we have made many agreements that make us suffer, that make us fail in life. Break those agreements that are fear based and claim your personal power. Okay, now I want you to do this homework. First, be aware of when you are angry, how you are expressing your anger. Is it from a healthy perspective or you are attacking? Make sure that you don't attack another person and you are not operating from a place of victim. Okay, and then see, when I am angry, who I am like, how do I feel, what do I believe about anger, and how do I behave. This will teach you the agreements you have already made about the emotion anger, which you have learned as a child, which you have something believed, agreed, or internalized by observing and learning from other role models from your life, in your life. Okay, so do this homework, and then in the next class you will learn about the first agreement. But doing this homework is very, very important. Okay, I hope this is really working for you or it helps somebody. So I hope it works. Please share your feedback. Thank you so much.